welcome to Spotlight with Mehwish Weqar. I hope you all are doing fantastic, and today's episode is extremely exciting and I'm a bit nervous, and it's very honorable for me to have with me somebody who's not been elected once but twice, and somebody who's always there for the community, whether to make a change, whether to make support, whether it's just South Asian community, any culture, any color, any race, he's there for us. So very honored and happy to have with me in studio today is Mr. Patrick Brown. Welcome.
Well, it's great to be on your show and looking forward to the conversation we get to have today.
Yeah, and I'm very honored that you are here at Toronto 360 Studio today with your busy schedule, so it means a lot to us.
Well, Toronto 360 is an important media organization that highlights the community's voice, so it's always great to be here.
Thank you for appreciating. Recently we saw you doing that whole ramp walk at the fashion show, and that was very impressive. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, you know, my dear friend, Nadeem, invited me and the folks that were involved in that, Omar, Mukadas, great community leaders who wanted to highlight fashion. It was sort of a fusion of Canadian and Pakistani fashion, and it was beautiful. It was a packed hall, and so, you know, I'm a big believer that arts is an economic driver. Fashion can be an economic driver, and so when there's opportunities to showcase that in Brampton, we jump at it.
Yeah, and I was like, you know, I mean, there is support, and then there's support like this, that a politician would actually walk the ramp to show the support, and your walk was awesome. Very impressive.
Well, I was just lucky I got to wear a traditional Pakistani outfit too.
You looked very nice, and so did your wife. So I wanted to congratulate you for being re-elected again as Mayor of Brampton. So what is it that, you know, that keeps the people coming back to you over and over again that, yeah, we want Patrick Brown as our mayor?
So I think it's important to stay in touch. I think it's important to listen. You know,
Yeah.
I had a friend once tell me, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen more than you talk. And if you listen to your residents, then you can fight for your residents. And we've had a lot of success together, whether, you know, it was getting funding for a second hospital, delivering funding for a med school, expanding recreation like cricket, or standing on principle. You know, we led the national charge in Brampton against Bill 21 in Quebec and Islamophobia.
Yeah.
You know, I believe Brampton is a mosaic of the world, that religious freedom is a value we strongly believe in, and that we stick up for each other. And that's my approach to public service, that if one aspect of our family faces a barrier
Yeah.
or hate, we
Yeah.
stick up for each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes Canada great. It's
Yeah.
what makes Brampton great. And I'm going to continue to strive to make sure everyone who's part of our family here in Canada, our broader family, it doesn't matter who you love, where you're born, the color of your skin, what God you worship, everyone has the ability to contribute in this country.
And feel safe at the same time,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Yes. So I believe this campaign has been quite challenging for you because there were like a lot of controversies, and of course the opponents did not want you winning, so they were doing everything to like not make you win. So it was a very challenging victory for you. What do you have to say about that?
Well, for me, I always trusted residents.
Yeah.
And so when other campaigns engaged in attack ads and toxic negativity, we didn't respond. When they ran attack ads, we refused to respond with attack ads. My approach is to be positive, to articulate what I want to do for the city and for our residents. And I really thought Brampton residents would reject US-style attack ads. And on election day, they did. It wasn't even close. It was a landslide because I really believe in the hearts of Bramptonians. They favor decency and optimism and positivity over negativity.
And so did you find this campaign more challenging compared to the one you had before, the first time?
No, I think the first one was more challenging.
Really?
In the sense that it was a much closer race.
Yeah.
And it was against a long-serving incumbent. And this time it was the other shoe because I was the incumbent.
Yeah.
I certainly found the first run much more challenging.
So being a mayor of Brampton, what do you find the most challenging?
So right now, if I look at challenges we have in our city, it would be public safety. We're seeing organized crime be more sophisticated.
Yeah.
And sure, Canada is much, much safer than many countries in the world. but we do have a problem with auto thefts, with break and enters.
Yes,
and it's going to
that's
be a
happening.
focus of mine to work with the police to give them the tools
Yeah.
to really target these gangs
Yeah.
that are using auto thefts and break and enters
Yeah.
as revenue tools.
Yeah. And also what I've noticed is that, and even people also say that when they go to a police station and they file a complaint, most of the time they say we are short of staff. So is there like more recruitment for police
Yeah,
happening?
part of my plan is to triple the auto thefts unit and to
Yeah.
hire 250 new officers in Peel Region over the next 4 years, net new officers.
Yeah.
So we're going to really look at amplifying the availability of officers to respond to the volume of calls we get.
So being a mayor, what keeps you motivated?
You know, I love seeing the result of our work. And if I go by a new rec center that we've built, if I go and see a new park that we've commissioned, I see the construction starting at the new hospital. For me, that is the best reward, is that you can actually see in public service, if you're in it for the right reasons, you can actually see the results of your efforts.
Despite being that I know where we have a lot of like auto thefts and a lot of crimes going on in Brampton, but the good part is that I'm seeing a lot of events happening in Brampton. Before it used to be more in like Toronto, but now we have a lot of venues and that are like offering events. And so do you think it's beneficial for the community?
Yeah, I think we're seeing some extraordinary success in Brampton. And sometimes we don't fully appreciate that.
Yeah.
But you look at the GT20, the massive cricket tournament.
Yes.
That didn't go to Toronto. It went to
Yeah.
Brampton.
Yes.
You look at this
Yes.
international cybersecurity conference. It didn't
Yeah.
go to Ottawa or Washington.
Yeah.
It went to Brampton.
Yeah.
I look at the national soccer team that went to Qatar. Half Canada's team was from Brampton.
Yes.
They called it Brampton versus the world.
Yeah.
Right now, the Canada arm, the robotics on the International Space Station, the largest aerospace investment in the country, happening right here in Brampton.
Yeah.
So there is this resilience, this success, this tenacity that is quite extraordinary in Brampton.
Yes, definitely. And I think Brampton is also becoming quite popular. Before it was like Mississauga, but now we are in that phase where people are talking more about Brampton.
There you go. You heard it right here. On Toronto 360, Brampton is on the rise.
Yes, it is.
We're going to have to change this to Brampton 360 TV.
Yeah, but my boss is from Mississauga, so I don't know
Okay.
if he's going to want
Okay.
to agree to
We'll
that.
have to work on him.
Okay, so when you attend Pakistani events, like I know you always come in a lot of rush and then you always have to leave. But has there ever been a time like where you actually sat and had dinner and there was something that you really liked?
So listen, I consider myself Pakistani by osmosis. I go to so many Pakistani events that
Yeah.
I've fallen in love with the culture,
Yeah.
the food, the people,
Yeah.
and obviously I've been to Pakistan twice.
Yeah.
So I feel one of the beauties of being mayor is that I get to be immersed in so many different cultures. One of the
Yes.
cultures that I have
Yes.
truly fallen in love with is
Yeah.
the beauty of the Pakistani culture. And so, and at different events, there are different traditions and different culinary delights.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you ask a food that I've become fond of, I've got a bit of a sweet tooth, so some good Pakistani kheer is always a treat after dinner.
Yeah.
But there's so many great restaurants, so many great events, as you really get a taste of it in Brampton.
Yes, and I'm very glad that you do enjoy our Pakistani food. So when you come to these Pakistani events and you do meet a lot of people from our community, what is that one concern that they all have expressed to you being Pakistani in community living here? Has there like a specific one that they want?
So I think a lot of the concerns are similar concerns. I
Okay.
would say that there's obviously concerns over Islamophobia
Yeah.
in the community, and I see it. There is systemic discrimination that we need
Yeah.
to address.
Yeah.
At the same time, even in the immigration system, a lot of families here have loved ones back in Pakistan, and I find that the wait times, particularly for Pakistan,
Yeah.
are not equitable.
Yeah.
And for me, an illustration would be students.
Yeah.
And so, nothing against India or China.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've got a robust student exchange program with those countries, and it's the pathway to citizenship.
Yeah.
But why are the ratios so dramatically different than Pakistan?
Definitely.
Why can't a young person in Pakistan have the same chances to chase their dream in Canada? And so
Yeah.
I see inequities, and because I'm so involved in the community, I hear about it,
Yeah.
and I try to give voice to those
Yeah.
concerns
Yeah.
from the platform that I have as mayor. But
Yeah.
those would be some examples of sort of grievances that I've heard.
So, and you think that's something that is gonna be considered like in the future to make the change?
I hope
Or-
so, and I think the more people that speak up about it, ultimately in an area of immigration, that would be a federal decision.
Yeah.
But I'll be one of the voices urging the government of Canada to make those type of changes. And when it comes to Islamophobia, I think every level of government has ownership of that. And
Yeah.
my goal in Brampton is to be an example for others to follow.
Oh, thank you so much for talking to us, and your time is very precious to us. Thank you for being here today, where you could have been anywhere on the planet, but you are here with us. Just last question before you go. Just 3 good things about Brampton.
I love Brampton, so it's difficult to limit it to 3, but let me share 3 things that are maybe more hidden. Because everyone knows the big picture attributes
Yeah.
of Brampton.
Yeah.
Best coffee in Brampton, my favorite place is Segovia Coffee in the downtown.
Really, I haven't tried that.
You got to try it.
Okay.
Segovia Coffee, downtown Brampton.
All
My
right.
favorite place to go for a jog, Professor's Lake. It's a bit of a hidden jewel in,
It is, yes.
in Brampton.
Now you might see a lot of fans there. So, we know, right?
And since it's winter time,
Yeah.
if you haven't picked up ice skating, we just opened 3 great ice skating pads. More will open soon, but Gage Park, Mount Pleasant, and Shakuzi are open.
Yeah.
And there's something pretty special about ice skating
Yes,
under the stars.
especially the holiday season.
Holiday
Yeah.
music
Yes.
in Brampton. We've got some great
Yeah.
locations. Gage Park is special because it's a pathway,
Yeah.
and you get all the winter lights down there as well. So
Wow.
we've got some iconic spots, and not everyone knows how to skate, but it's never
Yeah.
too late to learn.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I don't know how to skate, but I will definitely learn.
Well, believe it or not, our former Pakistani High Commissioner tells me
Yes.
that once a year there's an ice hockey tournament
Okay.
in Pakistan,
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
up in the mountains.
Wow. I actually didn't know that. So thank you so much for being here today, and I'm gonna talk to you guys next week, same time. Take care, and Allah Hafiz.